Now we are going to practice subtracting fractions with unlike denominators where we can't make one denominator into the other. So just like always, I always ask myself, is the denominator common? And the answer is no, because 3 and 2 are not the same. So I'm going to go ahead and make my ratio tables so that I can calculate that common denominator. I'm going to have 2/3 in my first ratio table, and I'm going to have 1/2 in my second ratio table. And I'm going to start with my smaller denominator to see if I can make it into my larger one. So I'm going to start by multiplying by 2. 1 times 2 is 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. That did not work, so now I'll get my other fraction. And once again, what I do to the top, I do to the bottom. So what I do to the numerator, I do to the denominator. 2 times 2 is 4, and 3 times 2 is 6. We're still not there, so I'm going to go back to my first fraction. And we're going to try multiplying by 3. 1 times 3 is 3, and 2 times 3 is 6. So I now have my common denominators. I have 6 as my denominator in the second fraction, and 6 is my denominator in the first fraction. So now I rewrite using my equivalent fractions. Instead of 2/3, I have 4/6. I'm subtracting. Instead of 1/2, I'm going to use 3/6 because again, I want that common denominator. So now my denominator stays the same because I'm not changing the size of my pieces. I subtract my numerators. 4 pieces minus 3 gives me 1, and so my answer is 1/6. Now go ahead and use this strategy to try and solve that problem again.